here with Melissa. So,
Hi.
Melissa, how about you introduce yourself, who you are, your house, your Instagram, which will give away your house.
Okay. Yeah.
Your anywhere else on socials you are, and your favorite character.
Ooh, okay. So my name is Melissa. I am 42 years old. My house is Hufflepuff. Instagram handle is HufflepuffMelissa. So yeah, that definitely gives it away. But I definitely feel like Slytherin is my second house. I have quite a few traits that I relate to from Slytherin. So, but more so, I'm definitely more Hufflepuff. And let's see, favorite character is so hard to pick just one. But if I had to choose one, I would say Ron. Especially book Ron. He just brings so much like comic relief to the series and just so funny. Yeah, he was a bit of a jerk to Hermione on the first few books, but still just his humor. And I relate to him a lot, like with the whole like eating and getting hangry if he doesn't get to eat. Yeah, I definitely relate to Ron, and it's like I have to eat. Like, if you don't feed me, you're gonna see an angry person.
And like, even though Ron had his jerky moments, we also have to like look at it through the lens of the age.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're like,
yeah, they were kids. Yeah,
all guys at age 11 and 12 were mean to girls.
Oh, they were so mean. Yeah, so mean. That was their way of like, like, I like you, but I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to be a jerk instead.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So why don't we start with, how did you discover Harry Potter? Like, was it through the books first, the movies first? Like, what was that journey like for you?
So for me, I have to thank, my kids for that. It all started in 2016. My oldest daughter, at the time, she was super into Harry Potter. She still likes it, but she's not like at the level I am now. So like, I'm the Harry Potter nerd of the house and I'm proud. But, so in 2016, she wanted the DVD set for Christmas. So we got that for her, and we, with me and my husband and kids, we sat and watched the movies one by one together, and I fell in love. I couldn't believe like all the years I've been missing out on it. Like, what was I thinking? And so ever since then, I got the books and I read all the books. I've reread them so many times since then, listened to them on Audible. It's just, yeah, I owe Harry Potter a lot. I have struggled with anxiety since I was in my 20s and depression. And a few years ago, when I was reading the books, I was just having a really hard time with my anxiety. And those books honestly saved my life. I mean, they got me through really, really dark days. So I owe Harry Potter my life pretty much.
So how do you feel like, knowing that you started the series at an older age range? Like, the one thing about the Harry Potter community is it does not discriminate by generation.
Exactly.
We have all ranges. I had the benefit of, when the books released, I was Harry and Hermione's age.
That's so cool.
So I really grew up with them.
Yeah.
So like, and a lot of people are like, oh, we grew up with them. And I was like, I was literally their age. Now, they didn't finish until I was in college. But when I started, like, I understood where they were. So what was that like, reading as an adult versus reading it as like a child, do you think?
Yeah. So I looked at them more as they were my kids. And so I'll never forget reading Sorcerer's Stone for the first time, and the scene where Harry is looking in the mirror, seeing his family for the first time. I get so emotional every time I read that, because I'm like, all he wanted, was a family, and like, here he is seeing his family, and it was just like, oh my God, like I wish I could, just take him in and I would be his mom. Yeah, so I looked at them as my kids, and just seeing them grow up. I think that's why I have such a, special attachment to the characters, because I viewed them as if they were my children. And I always say I relate to Molly Weasley the most, because I I am a Molly, like with my kids, when their friends come over, I treat them like my kids. I'm always cooking, baking, like making them feel welcome in my house. So yeah, I'm definitely the Molly Weasley of the house.
The world needs more Mollys.
Yeah, I agree.
So from there, where do you go from reading the books, watching the movies to joining the Pottergram?
Yeah. So when I first started Instagram back in like 2013, 14, it was just like posting pictures of just random, like my kids, but after I got into Harry Potter, that I started finding, actually the first Harry Potter account, Pottergram friend I made here was Bailey, at Magic Wand Blonde. Mm-hmm. She was my first Pottergram friend. And I think shortly after that, it was Paula. But yeah, I loved being able to connect with people that like shared that love. And I love hearing everybody's journey with it. Like everyone has came to love it at different ages. And it's just so fun getting to know everybody. And I've made so many amazing friendships through Pottergram. But yeah, I decided to switch my account over to Pottergram. I think it was maybe 3 years ago now. I think. I can't quite remember, but best thing I could have ever done, because I've just, met so many amazing people here and I love it.
And then from there, you open a shop.
Start of the pandemic, 2020. Yeah, got laid off from my job. I couldn't go to work anyway because all the schools, shut down. I was working at a preschool. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do for work? And I'm like, I really got the inspiration from Hallie at the Common Room shop. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with her? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, she was my biggest inspiration. I was like, oh my gosh, like she makes it look so easy. I can do this, but it's not easy. It's really not easy. And she gave really good advice, like just watch a lot of YouTube tutorials, just do a lot of research, because it's running a business and it's, it's not as easy as it looks. So so I started that. I started playing with ideas of like what I want to do, what I want to name it. And then last year, 2021 is when I finally, was just like, okay, I'm going to go for it. But it's been on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, just because, like I said, it takes money to make money. And, right now with my husband being the only one employed, it's kind of had to take a little bit of a back burner, but just when I started it, just that excitement and that love was just like, and the passion was all there, and it was just, it's fun. And I haven't given it up. I do plan on bringing more, designs to the shop, but yeah, I wanted to just, start something that could be, and it was based off of Harry Potter, but it's also just, like bookish, like merch, just because like, I love so many different fandoms. So I wanted to just be able to like portray that onto clothing. So that way, because I know me personally, I love to wear like and represent like what I love, like if I go somewhere, I want people to be like, okay, yeah, she likes Harry Potter, or she likes Stranger Things, or, so, and I know a lot of people like to do the same thing. So I wanted to be able to share that with people. So
what are some of your other fandoms?
Let's see, Stranger Things, Marvel, Disney, Studio Ghibli. I love Studio Ghibli, like Ponyo, Kiki's Delivery Service.
I love Kiki's Delivery Service.
Love Kiki so much. Sailor Moon. Yeah, those are like probably my top ones. And then as far as like book series, other than Harry Potter, of course, my favorite book series that I'm like super into is Court of Thorns and Roses, also known as ACOTAR. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a big.
We live in the same fandom realm right now.
Awesome. I love. Yeah, so many people that I'm friends with. We all love the same thing, and that's what it's about: finding friends that you share the same passion with, and have all that fun thing, the fun stuff in common with. So.
Well, it's funny because like in the Pottergram, like when someone finds something they love, they share this specifically with A Court of Thorns and Roses. Like that book released in like 2015. Like it's not a new book.
It's not.
The latest one is a new book.
Yeah.
But like all of a sudden, I know Ravenclaw reads, Rachel was reading it, and slowly all of a sudden, like all the Pottergram was reading this series, and it just feels like that happens a lot, is like we want to share what we're nerdy about.
Oh, exactly. Absolutely. Like, yeah.
I know, like for me, I do post mostly Harry Potter, but I've been like, lately I've been like, I like so many other things that I've like started trying to do like fandom Fridays of other things I love.
I love that. That's it, because I don't want to just be tied down just to one specific thing, but I love so many other things. And while Harry Potter is my first love, you know, obviously, and it always will be, but yeah, like you, I want to share my other passions too. And so,
and we're getting so much new content lately. There's like, I'm a Star Trek fan.
Okay. Awesome. And like my dad was.
The new stuff we're getting on Star Trek is so good.
That's so cool. I love that. That's exciting when there's like new stuff comes out, because then you like fall in love with that all over again and get new that passion
stuff and
again.
Good new stuff. Like there's there's been like a lot of random like Star Trek stuff that's come out over the years, but like their latest series, the last show of the season ended today, is so freaking good.
That's awesome. I love that. That's so cool.
But I love that about like the community is everyone just wants to share what they love, even if it's not Harry Potter, and especially if it is Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Everyone's just ready to be like, no, you got to watch this thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's just so much going on in the world. It's just so nice to have that escape of something that brings you joy and just makes you feel at peace and makes you feel happy, because the world is, let's face it, it's crazy. And it's like, so I just love being able to have that escapism, you know?
Same. So I like having that safe place where I can just like go and be like, I need to check out of the world for a little.
Yep.
And this will do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Harry Potter does not come without its own issues, but the community is so amazing.
So amazing. Yeah. And we've kind of taken it upon ourselves to shun a certain, you know, author to the side and say, hey, we're taking it for ourselves. And, you know, we're not going to let, you know, these, outrageous comments that she makes take away from what we love about, you know, these characters and these stories.
Yeah. And the community is like, it's almost like not that we've outgrown the books of what they are, but we've expanded as a community with the universe that exists outside what is just written.
Like,
and people just want to like spread like happiness and positivity and just want to share things they love and not have to like associate it with things that don't make people happy.
Yes, exactly. I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
I know, like, I haven't done a reread in quite some time.
Okay. See, I do more rereads through Audible because
I do too. Now, I will say I have listened to it. It is one of the few books I can listen to while I work.
Yes.
Because if I zone out, I still know what's going on.
Exactly. You don't have to, because you've heard it so many times, you've read it so many times, you already know what's going to happen. It's just nice to have that background noise on. And,
it's the perfect thing for background noise.
It is. It totally is.
And the movies are the same way. But the problem with the movies is I'll start watching them.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm like, no, I'll put the audiobook on. That way, you know, I'm, washing dishes or cooking dinner or, doing stuff around the house. I just have it on and it's soothing and calming. So
I do want to reread the actual books, not through.
Yeah.
I consider listening to audiobooks reading. I do.
I do too.
I mean, some people are like, well, that's not reading. And I'm like, no, it is.
It is. Yeah.
For me, reading a physical book is closer to my heart.
Yeah, it is. I love it too. But there, I have ADHD. And so there's times where like, it's hard for me to like just sit still and read for very long periods of time. So that's why Audible definitely comes in handy, listening to the audiobooks. So that way I'm like doing stuff I need to do and, but still being able to listen to it. So yeah.
You have a favorite book and a favorite movie and least favorite. Let's do all four. Favorites of both and least of, and not necessarily least. I hate the word least favorite.
I
think of it more as least return to, because like when I look at my series, like if I'm just going to pick one, most of the time I'm not going for Chamber. And that's me.
See, that's me. That's me too. Oh my gosh. But we'll start my favorites. Book and movie are the same. Half-Blood Prince. my gosh. Okay. So especially in the book, I love all the backstory of like the Gaunt family. And just, oh my gosh, I love it so much. And then as far as like the movie, I like, it's almost like Harry gets like a slight little break and gets to be like a normal teenager for once. He's not, I mean, yeah, they're still trying to, find ways of like starting to, think about defeating Voldemort, but it's not like how it was like in Goblet of Fire, where he's like face to face, like, almost died. He gets a little bit of a break from that and
he's actually going to classes.
Yeah. He's actually going to classes.
He's being a student.
Yeah. And then another thing I love about in the book, which I wish was portrayed in the movie, but him and Ginny's relationship kind of unfolding, the way it's described in the book is just like the cutest thing to me. And yeah, I love that. So those are my two favorites. And yeah, least I would say for book and movie is Chamber of Secrets. Not that I don't love them both, but there's just, not the ones I would pick first to read or watch. So.
And I rewatched Chamber more recently, and I actually enjoyed it as a movie. I think it's an issue. It just feels it's filler information.
Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't really like move the story along per se. It just kind of like introduces you to some things that you need to know later on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, exactly. We just need to get through this because this is setting up everything else. And I think that's my biggest issue with it is it's just like, I'm like, oh, I already know this information. I don't need to.
Yeah, I agree. Exactly. Yeah. But then like Prisoner of Azkaban is probably like my second favorite. I love Prisoner of Azkaban too.
It's my favorite book.
Is it? Oh, okay. Yeah. It's so good. I love the whole, backstory on the Marauders. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see that once I reread it. Because when I listen to it, I do zone in and out. I'm like, I wonder if my favorite book will change. Because 3's been my favorite since I was a kid. And I have never like reassessed that in my mind. I'm just like, no, it's 3. Like I've never actually like thought about, I'm like, but is it 3 still?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm curious to see if it'll change once you do like a reread again.
Yeah. We are debating doing a book club this fall.
Oh, okay.
To do a reread of the books with Kayleen from Bits and Bobbin Shop.
Yes. Yeah. I love Kayleen. She's actually, I'm in a group chat with her right now, and Shauna from Shauna's Magical World and Steph. We have like a Eddie Munson fan club group chat going on right now. But yeah, we love Eddie so much, all of us.
Her and I have talked a lot about Stranger Things. Also, So I have a cosplay plan for LeakyCon, and I was like looking at like bounds and stuff to do for other days. And I was like, his character, because Wizard Rock, I don't know if you're into Wizard Rock or know what it is.
No, I'm not familiar with it. I haven't listened to it.
But it's like a genre of music. It's not something I ever got into, but it's like, there's like groups like Harry and the Potters, Tonks and the Oars, and they have like music that is inspired by, the books and stuff, and like great podcast. I think she's on monthly. It's WZRD radio, and she does like a radio show with Wizard Rock music. But like when I saw the picture that everyone sees of Eddie, where he just looks like a rocker. I'm like, that would be such a fun crossover with a Wizard Rock. You should.
Oh my gosh, like the Weird Sisters or something like that, but Eddie style.
I think it'd be a fun crossover.
I would love that. Oh gosh, yeah. Eddie has my heart. He's just the best.
He is great. I am excited / terrified for the rest of the series.
Oh, I know. Oh my gosh. Oh, did you finish the last two episodes of volume?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All caught up. Okay. That's good. Yeah. I guess we should talk because in case, I don't want to give spoilers in case somebody else has watched it yet. So
yeah, I am planning a Stranger Things cosplay for probably Halloweenish.
Fun. Yeah. I think I
really want to be
well.
Susie.
Oh her outfits are like, they were so cute in the season, weren't they? Even my kids were like, Susie's so cute. Like her outfit is so cute. Like, I know. I look at Susie all grown up. And
I found the plaid fabric and I was like, this might be happening.
Yeah, I think you could totally pull it off. You should. Oh, that'd be
I don't
so
like
cute.
wearing wigs. So if I decide to cosplay, I'm always looking for someone that like wears glasses and has dark hair.
And you have both. So there you go. You don't have to worry about a wig.
Yeah. Oddly enough, I have never actually cosplayed Hermione.
Really? Yeah. I'm surprised you have it. Yeah.
I literally have her features and I'm like, this has never happened.
Aw, someday. Do it.
It'll happen. We'll get there.
Yeah, I've never cosplayed any HP characters yet. So there's no one I like look like in my, I think that I can think of, there's no one I look like. So it's just, I just never got around to doing that.
Yeah. I bound more than I cosplay.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So I just find that more fun for me.
Yeah.
It might be an introvert thing. Like I know some introverts love it because they can feel like extroverted as cosplay. For me, I just feel awkward.
Okay. See, I probably would too. But like bounding, like that I could totally do. But like a full-on cosplay, that's kind of not so much my thing either. I don't think. And being introverted, I wouldn't want to like draw like all that like attention to myself. So
Con will be my first like full-on cosplay.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm so excited for about it, but I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
It's not a character, so it's a little out of the box.
I know you were posting like little sneak peeks of like the fabric like up close, and I'm like, what is Dani gonna cosplay as? I'm like, when's she gonna tell us?
Do you want to know? Because this will release after I wear it.
Okay, yeah.
Have you seen Secrets of Dumbledore?
Yes.
I'm gonna be the book port key.
That is so cool. That's so creative.
So all like the fabric pictures you have seen is because that's the underneath of the costume, because I actually used the Goblet of Fire book and covered it.
Yeah, that is so creative. What made you decide that you wanted to cosplay as that?
I was hanging out at the parks with Amy from Big Fat Lanyards. And we were actually talking about like how there are some cosplayers who take on the persona of the character. Mm-hmm. And for me, that's like, that's not something I can do. Even like, so I had my Monsters University hat on. Yeah. I was wearing it at Disney and I was buying like something, and the cast member, and I love that they do interactions like this, but I'm the wrong person to try to interact. And he's like, oh, so you go to Monsters University. Are you in like scaring, or are you like telling jokes? Oh, tell me a joke. And I was just like, please, sir, let me just buy my thing and go.
Yeah.
And so when she mentioned, she's like, oh, that's a lot why I cosplay like objects and stuff. And I was like thinking of that scene because I love the scene of the book pages. I was like, oh, that would be a really cool.
That was so pretty. Yeah.
And it just got stuck in my mind about thinking about that because I love Lally's character. She's my favorite.
Oh my gosh.
I don't need another Fantastic Beasts movie. Give me an entire TV series about her, please.
Give me more Lally.
I want her chocolate frog card. I want a series that just follows her.
Oh my gosh, she is amazing. I just like immediately felt this, the way she portrays the character, like her personality. I was just like, where have you been? Like, oh my God, I love her. I love her. I just want more.
I'm like, I don't need another Fantastic Beasts movie, but give me her and give me
a Lally movie. Yes. Give me all Lally.
Movie. Give me a series. Let me just sit in her charms class, please.
Could you imagine like a cute little, like, maybe like 8 episodes of just like Lally, like teaching, like, so that'd be so fun. Yeah.
It'd be so fun. It'd be like a lovely little introduction to like American wizarding schools.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my goodness.
You can even keep it in the same time period. Like, give me more of her clothes. Like,
oh my gosh.
Give me a whole wardrobe for her, please.
Her hair, like the way she dressed, just like everything was just like perfection to me. I love it.
She is probably the best thing that came out of Secrets of Dumbledore.
I agree. I 100% agree. Yep.
Well, you live relatively close to Universal Hollywood.
Yes.
Have you been to both? Hollywood and Orlando, or just Hollywood?
Yeah, I've never been to Orlando. I am, oh my gosh, I'm terrified of flying. So I don't know if I'll ever make it to Orlando. I'm just so scared to fly. I mean, unless we like rent an RV and like do a cross country road trip, I don't think I'll be going there. But I'm content with just going to the one in Hollywood. It's we don't have Diagon Alley, we don't have Green Gauze and the Weasleys, Wizard Wheezes. I know, but we have the Fort Anglia. Yeah. And then we have the Hollywood, the Warner Brothers Hollywood studio tour, which they just revamped and like added like a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. I haven't gone yet. But I want to do the studio tour there because, you know, don't think I'll ever be going to London. I don't know. So yeah. But last time I went to the parks was back in December, and I met up with a few friends from Pottergram. So that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
I haven't made it to that park yet.
Okay.
It's on the list. I have a friend that works there and I still haven't made it.
Oh my gosh. Can they get you in for free?
He probably would.
Like discount ticket? Oh, okay.
He would. We've been friends since, oh my gosh, 13, 14 years old.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome. Nice.
He moved out there right around the same time like I moved out of. We both are from Pennsylvania.
Okay. Awesome. Well, let me know if you ever come out here so we can meet up.
I'm sure we will meet up at some point because I will end up, even if it's not for the park, there's a few other things I want to do out that way.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, just definitely message me. I am like always trying to, you know, be able to meet up with Pottergram friends. I just think it's, so much fun to be able to do that. So.
And it's so funny because like when we were kids, like we have some years in between us, but not enough that it's like very different. So I'm 36.
Okay.
So like we're still in the same range where they're like, don't meet internet strangers.
I know.
Like that's what we were taught as kids.
That's what we were taught as kids. But here we are, like just like, you know, sharing everything with all of our internet friends and meeting up in person. But it's not like that for adults. And now like my kids, I'm just always like, I'm very weary, like letting them, you know, and who they.
It's a little different.
Yeah. But as adults,
and I also
we know better.
It's also like, for me, because I like Kayleen and I met up for the first time in the fall at the park. So we had talked, and people.
She lives in Canada, right?
She's from Canada.
Okay, yeah,
she's in Canada, and she's coming back this summer.
Oh, yay!
So we're really excited to see each other again.
She's so sweet. She's very sweet. Yeah,
but like I'll have people that are like, they're from the internet. I'm like, they are, but like we're meeting up at the theme park, and it's a theme park I know so well that if I ever felt uncomfortable, I could disappear so quickly.
You're like, I know all the ins and outs and hiding spots, and
I'm like, I could get through this park and get lost very quickly. That if I ever felt uncomfortable, and that's why, like, not that I don't trust people, but it's why when I initially meet people for the first time, I do it at theme parks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it's like the safest place. Mm-hmm.
It's a safe place. It's a place I know.
Right.
I know how to get around.
Yeah.
And it's also, it's rare that you go to the theme park and not have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like the perfect meeting spot. Definitely. Yeah. We're hoping, my husband was talking about getting us some passes for Universal. So I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping that will happen soon.
And you guys had Nintendo coming out that way.
Oh my goodness. My kids are so excited for that. So excited. I mean, I am too. I grew up with, playing Super Mario Brothers on Nintendo. So I'm excited for it too. I haven't seen, I'm pretty sure, I think they're close to like opening. I want to say is it like this year?
2023, I think. I think it's like
or
like
early spring.
2023.
Yeah, I think it's like spring of next year. Yeah, but it's getting there. So that's exciting.
We have a few years until we get our new park out here.
Yeah. I'm so confused as to why, Universal and Hollywood didn't make the Harry Potter section bigger. It's not like they didn't have the space. So I don't know. It's like where they're building the Nintendo world. It's on like because it's like an upper level and a lower level. And so where they're building the Nintendo world, it's on the lower level. And there's just so much room down there. So it's like, why would you not put Harry Potter down there? And then you could have everything the way it is, as the same way as it is in Orlando. Yeah. So that always kind of bugged me. It's like, it's not like they didn't have the space. They did. So I don't know.
Didn't think far enough in advance to realize how popular it actually is as a thing.
Exactly.
So I have passes to Disney and Universal.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Universal to hang out with people. I don't necessarily, like, I ride all the things. There's certain things I ride all the time that aren't Harry Potter. I always ride E.T.
Aww.
But like, for the most part,
it's just to hang out.
Where I meet my people.
Yeah. Go eat, go hang out.
Disney's where I theme park.
Right. And
I
actually
eat more
like
in
ride
Disney
stuff.
too, because Universal's not winning the game on food choices.
Oh my gosh. I love the food at Disneyland. I love it so much. Especially my favorite place to eat when we go to Disneyland is at the Plaza Inn. Their fried chicken platter with mashed potatoes and like green beans and biscuit.
That sounds so good.
So good. Oh my God.
It's so funny because like the choices of food that we make are like the homey, like it's not like some fancy high end. We're like, no, the fried chicken.
Comfort. Yes. Give me the comfort food. I want the comfort food. Yeah, exactly.
I'm curious to see if Universal ever decides to do a Potter hotel.
That would be so cool. That would be
like,
I mean, just anywhere. Like, yeah. Could you imagine a Harry Potter themed hotel? Like, how cool would that be?
Because you could go immersive or you could go regular themed. If it's immersive, please. I say this all the time about the Star Wars hotel they made. I'm like, can you make like an introvert's wing? I don't want to. Play the game, but I want to keep the stuff.
I want to see the stuff, but just don't come talk to me and try to get me to like, same here.
I just understand this is how like I filter everything through my brain. I'm like,
yeah. I think about stuff like that too. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, please don't try to like get me to like talk to you about, no.
Yeah. I think what like has always gotten me through conventions is that, especially a convention like LeakyCon, is I know there's already a common bond. I can just go, I'm a Ravenclaw, and people will talk to me.
Yep, exactly.
So I'll just wear a Ravenclaw hoodie.
Yeah. Yep, that's the instant conversation starter right there. So,
so do your kids support your Harry Potter love?
Oh yeah, they definitely do.
Or they're like, yep, that's our mom.
they, my oldest is 16. My youngest just turned 11. So yeah, they believe me, they tease me from time to time, like, like mom's just a Harry Potter nerd and but they do it like joking around, like in a loving way. But no, they're really supportive. Like my oldest, she's, the one always, taking my pictures. If it's like a picture of like me, like somewhere, she's my photographer. And then my little one, she's always like helping me. I always get her opinion on like doing edits, like, oh, does this filter look good? Or, so, it's just fun having them help me like with my Instagram. And so, yeah.
Has the youngest read the books?
She has read the first two. And she's just like, oh, but they get longer and they're just like so much bigger. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, that's fine. No rush if you don't want to read them right now. But she got to the first two.
Are they sorted? Are your kids sorted?
Yes, we have one of each in my house. So,
oh, wow.
I'm the Hufflepuff. My husband is a Ravenclaw. My youngest is Gryffindor, and my oldest is Slytherin. So, yeah, it's it's so funny because we've all like took the test like multiple times, and we each got the same thing every time. So it's not like we're just guessing. Like this is not just guesswork. Like we're literally all so different personality. It's so funny.
that has to be interesting because there's so many times like that you see families have multiples of the same house.
Yeah,
not necessarily like a Weasley situation,
right?
Because I also have feelings about certain Weasleys.
Okay. Yes.
I think Percy would have been a Slytherin.
Oh, totally.
And I think Molly was so ambitious
too. Molly was totally a Hufflepuff. Yeah. Are you kidding me? But yeah, Percy totally should have been Slytherin too. So yeah.
And that's nothing against Slytherins. Because I know
nothing at all.
Percy gets a bad rap, but his ambition and his resourcefulness is all Slytherin.
All Slytherin.
Like I don't want people to think I'm bashing on Slytherin because I'm giving a Percy.
Yeah. No, believe me, I love Slytherin. I love all the houses. They each, they have their traits that I love. And they, it wouldn't be Hogwarts without having each individual house. So yeah, I love them all.
Well, I agree. And I'm also like, I'm the person, like, if you find someone that doesn't like their house, send them to me. I'll get them. I'll fix that.
Like, I'll fix that real quick.
That's my Ravenclaw gift. I will fix it. You will love your house by the time you're done with me. Or you'll just be sick of me that you'll tell me you love your house.
I love that. Yeah. My husband, definitely a Ravenclaw. He's just so like, he's like the calm to my storm. And he's like he's almost like Luna Lovegood vibes, but in male form. He's just very, that's the kind of, I mean, he's just very like mellow, laid back, easygoing. He just likes to, read, play video games, loves to read a lot. He loves to find out information. Once he likes something, he just full on researches it until he knows everything about it.
That is the biggest Ravenclaw trait.
That is him.
There.
That is all him. I'm like, you do that, and then you tell me what you find. That's not me.
Because people, so many times, I talked to Stephanie from Bees_Tees about this a lot, is that a lot of people make large assumptions about each house. And one of the things is that with Ravenclaws, that they're just book smart and they're smart about everything. Yeah. Which isn't the case.
Right.
Ravenclaws are smart about the thing that interests them because they deep dive and they want to know everything about that one topic.
Yep. That is so, so true. Because that is definitely what my husband does. So, yep. I agree with that.
Slightly obsessive personalities. It's okay.
Just a bit. Just a smidge.
If you could have any of the books from the perspective of another character, who would it be?
I would like to have Snape's perspective. I want to know why he was such a bully to not just Harry, but all the other kids. And I want to know, was he doing this because he was trying to put up a front and just, to pretend to be this mean person? I don't know. It just, his personality is so confusing to me. So I would love to get his perspective of why he made the choices, that he did.
Definitely.
So yeah, definitely Snape's perspective would be the most interesting to me. Yeah. I'm trying to think for which book. I mean, any of them.
I mean, honestly, with him, it could be all.
It could be all. Exactly. But yeah, because it all started with, the first book,
you
because
would start at a different point.
Yeah.
You could even start. It could be very interesting. Yeah. I always want book 7 from Neville.
Oh, that would be a good perspective too. I love Neville. My goodness. He's just...
Paula and I are the Neville stans.
I know you. Yes. Paula loves Neville too. He's such a sweetheart, and he's just so underrated. He's just so underrated. He showed so much bravery, especially towards, the end of the last couple books. Yeah.
And that's why I think it'd be so cool to have his perspective from 7. That's where he undergoes all this change and you miss all of it except for random little things you hear.
Right. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. That would be a really cool perspective to have for sure.
What class would you want to take?
I would love to take herbology because I love plants. Herbology, charms, care of magical creatures, and probably defense against the dark arts. Those would be probably my top faves. I mean, I would love all the classes, but those are probably my top favorites right there. Yeah. So.
And then if you could have any job in the wizarding world.
I would like to have a little shop either in Hogsmeade or probably Hogsmeade. I mean, I love Diagon Alley, but I feel like it's a lot more packed with people. And I'm more just I would rather have a few regulars come into my shop all the time that I'm friends with and know their name. And so, yeah, having a cute little shop in Hogsmeade would be so fun. I would love to do that.
Yeah, you want a small town shop. That's how Hogsmeade feels. Yeah, it's that small town Hallmark movie type shop where everyone knows your name.
Well, the city I live in, Redlands, it's a really small town in Southern California. So it's kind of and there's this little shopping area downtown, and that's what it reminds me of. Okay, this could be Hogsmeade, but present day, modern times. But you just get to know people. There's little mom and pop owned coffee shops and cute little clothing stores and plant shops. And so yeah, to have something like that that'd be so fun. I would love to do that.
Okay. And then final question. I keep seeing your tattoo and you lift your arm. Do you have any Harry Potter tattoos?
I know I don't. My last tattoo, I have not been able to get one just because the main reason they're so expensive. But yeah, no Harry Potter tattoos yet. I have a little star right here. I want to see how much it would cost to like add to that and like do the other two, like the little chapter stars. Mm-hmm. I want to do that. And get that one. And then I want to get the quote. It's of course it's happening inside your head, Harry. That's like my all-time favorite quote.
So you have a shirt with that one because
I do.
Shirt,
yeah.
Who sent me that? It's probably
Paula,
Nicole.
Okay.
Paula has said it, but I think
that shirt.
Nicole's really good at sending me accounts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure this week she sent that one. We were talking about some merch and stuff this week.
Yeah, I love that quote so much. For me, like I know it probably doesn't have anything to do with anxiety, but I feel like for me it kind of like translated to dealing with anxiety. Like, yeah, like these crazy negative thoughts can be, they're happening inside your head, but they feel real at the time. Mm-hmm. If you're struggling with like panic disorder and you're fearful, it feels real. And like, it's only in your head, but you have to remind yourself like, okay, like these are just thoughts, like it's going to pass. Like they're not real. So that's one of the main reasons I love that quote so much.
I think that's very valid. As an individual, I live in my head a lot, a lot of times to my detriment.
Yeah. Same. Oh my gosh. Big overthinker right here. Yeah.
I'm an overthinker. Everything. I've literally gotten to the point like where I get so in my head, I literally have to be like, stop, Dani, just stop.
Oh no. Same.
It's just like one of those things like, and I understand why people are drawn to that quote so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it also is a way of feeling seen and heard without having to say it.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. Yep. Such a special quote for sure.
Yes. Trying to think if I have a favorite quote. There's probably a few. I've always loved quotes. There's a scene that I really love. It's only in the books.
Oh, which one?
Which book is it? It's Goblet of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very minuscule, like some people may not even remember it. But it is something Hermione does that I love, and I want to be that type of friend. And it's at one point when Harry was just like, I think it was when Harry and Ron were fighting, and he was just like at his end, and Hermione is like, here's some toast, let's go for a walk, essentially.
I love that part because I just finished listening to the book on Audible, and I love when Hermione does that. It was just like, she didn't cause a scene. She was just like, here, Harry, let's get some toast and go for a walk. I love that. That's the kind of friend we all need, because like if they see you're struggling, they're like, I got you. Let's go. Come on.
And like, I'm the type of person, like if I have a lot going on and I, even if I don't want to talk or if I need to talk, I do better when I'm walking, because it like, it puts out that extra energy that you have built. I like build up like internal energy.
Right. That adrenaline.
And so walking helps me process what's going on, and getting that like, it almost is like a form of anxiety. It's like getting that anxiety out, because you're just like electrically charged in a way.
Oh yeah.
And moving gets that out. So moving having helps. That person that's just like, let me feed you and let me take you for a walk.
Like, like, oh my gosh, you're my best friend. Feeding me? Yes. That always helps make me feel better.
You can see the storm clouds heading over. I love that you like recognize that, because not everyone remembers that little, because it's such a little like throwaway moment almost.
It is a little moment, but I love that moment. Yeah.
But it always meant so much to me, and it always showed me how much. And I know there's the people that are like, Harry and Hermione should have been together. And I'm like, no, they were great.
No. Their friendship. Oh my gosh. I love their friendship. And that moment is just like shows like the type of friendship they are. Like she just such an amazing friend, such an amazing person. I love their friendship so much. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I will always fight that. Their friendship it's supposed to be just be a friendship.
Yeah.
And that's what it's supposed to be. And I'm happy.
Are there any other ships that you like would have rather seen than the ones that, you know, we were given in the books?
They did it in the movies, but I love the Neville Luna.
Yeah.
I love.
I thought they were so cute too, but I guess supposedly she ended up marrying Newt's grandson, right?
Yeah, a grandson, great grandson. There's some relation there. But like even in the books, I love them as an idea.
Yeah,
and they weren't like even a hint of that. I just like we just enjoy. I just love how
like that scene when Neville's like, "Where have you seen Luna? I gotta find her. I'm mad for her." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, you're so cute, Neville."
Paula and I just went and saw Order of the Phoenix at the concert.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
and
so fun.
We were laughing so hard because I don't know if we just noticed it or like we just don't always pay attention. When they get in the cart to go up to Hogwarts for the first time, Neville looks terrified of Luna.
He's like,
he is straight up like curled in a ball.
He scoots over to the side and he's like hugging his plant, like, oh my God, like it is the funniest thing. His facial expression is like, Neville, like she's not gonna bite you. It's okay.
What about you? Are there any other couples you ship?
Let's see. No, I'm pretty content with like all the ones that we were given. Like I love Harry and Ginny. Well, book Ginny. Let me rephrase that. I love book Ginny and Harry. And I love Ron and Hermione. I thought they were always meant to be. A lot of people ship Draco and Hermione. I can't. I personally don't really agree with it, just because I'm all about like the whole like enemies to lovers thing. I love that trope, but it has to be like if there's just so much like toxicity in the relationship, like if you're like an enemy where like you're just so toxic of a person,
something really had to happen for that to be,
because he was just so like outright hateful and spiteful to her. I mean, and just like the slurs he called her, and I'm like, that's not the basis of any good relationship, friendship or more. Like that's not how you become a person's friend, by belittling them like that. So
I am pro the idea that Draco ends up with not a Slytherin though.
Yeah.
And even a Hufflepuff. Like, I'm game for that.
Oh yeah.
I think there's someone out there.
Like,
I very much believe in Draco's redemption.
Oh, me too. I love him.
I even believe in Dudley's redemption. I'm all on board for Dudley's redemption.
Oh my gosh. The scene with Dudley and Harry in the last book. Are you kidding? I lost it on that. He was like, why isn't Harry coming with us? Like he felt so bad. And it's like, why didn't they show that in the movie? That was such an epic moment between them. And it just showed how much Dudley like grew as a person, and he actually cared for his cousin all these years later. So I always got so mad. They never, I mean, I know it's like in the deleted scenes, but it should have been.
I feel like the movies missed out on a lot of redemption arcs, because like the creature was also a big one.
Creature's tale, that chapter, oh my gosh, makes me cry. Creature deserved his story. And Winky, we didn't get Winky in Goblet of Fire. Like, I love Winky so much.
And like I understand they can't do everything, but there's certain things where I'm just like,
you could have made a little bit
character, of you couldn't just get this character redeemed.
I know. Yeah, I agree. And I wish we would have got to see Peeves. I mean, they showed all the other ghosts. Why didn't they show Peeves? I never understood that. So, oh well.
I would love more Charlie content.
Oh yeah, Charlie for sure. Yeah.
I have an idea of Charlie in my head, and I think it's just like, I'm like, I love the character of Charlie I've made up. So.
Aw, yeah. Sometimes that happens, and then, imagine if we have this idea built up in our head of, what they look like and, what we get from the book. So maybe it wouldn't have like played out the same way as if we would have got them in the movie, and then we just would have been disappointed.
Yeah, probably not. But one day they'll end up remaking it.
You think so? Yeah.
I think at some point, I don't know if it'll be anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I feel like at some point, or they'll do something to expand, like kind of like,
Yeah.
And I only realized this recently. Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter movies came out at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So and now we're getting new Lord of the Rings content this fall.
Yeah. I wonder if they're ever going to do a Cursed Child movie. I'm curious about that. So
I don't know. I don't really want one.
Yeah.
I would love to see it as a stage show because I am a theater kid and I hear like the effects are great, but I don't think a movie is something I would care for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would. This is a question I've asked a lot of people. Like, if you could have any type of content, and it doesn't have to be a remake, it could be like anything that's like an extension of the Wizarding world. Mm-hmm. What would you like to see?
Ooh, I mean, just more of the Golden Trio. Like, I just, love Harry, Ron, and Hermione. So I would love to see them now in their adult lives, like with their, with their kids and their families. So that's why maybe not necessarily a Cursed Child movie, but just a movie, about them now, present day. So, I mean, my age now, 42, like the characters are 42 years old. I think we're all the same age.
Let's see their sitcom life.
Yeah. Or like even, like a series. That would be awesome. Like a TV series to have it,
Jason from Binge Mode. I was a huge Binge Mode fan when it was playing. Always talked about having Law and Order.
Law and Order? That would be cool.
It'd be like the crime drama with Orders, and I'm like, that would be so much fun.
That would be fun. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't think I can be an Order. That'd be a little too much for me. Mm-hmm. I'd be scared.
I wouldn't make it as, I'd make it as like the paperwork person, like managing all this stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, this is what you do.
Yeah.
I'm not
that I could do
in the field. No. I would be better as an office worker and like management and like, if you watch Criminal Minds, I'd be like very much like the Penelope version.
Okay. Yeah. See, I need like happy-go-lucky stuff. I can't handle all the like the high stress things. Like that's just not good for somebody with anxiety.
No.
So
I'm also like, I don't respond quick enough to like make sure things don't happen. I'd be like, hold on, let me think about what I'm supposed to do next.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is why I can't do game shows or play trivia unless it's the trivia where you write it down and then go over the answers. Because I'm not good on my feet.
I am not either. I am not witty. I'm just, that's not my personality. I'm like, give me time to think. Let me write it down.
Come back to me.
Come back to me in like 10 minutes. Yeah. So.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome. This was so fun. Thank you for inviting me to join you.
No
so much
problem.
Fun.
Why don't you give your socials again for anyone that wants to follow you and as they should. And then if you have anyone you would like to shout out.
Okay. So my Instagram handle is at HufflepuffMelissa. My shop is at Lumos and Lavender. And then I have a TikTok, but I don't really go on there too much, but it's the same as my Instagram, at HufflepuffMelissa. And shout out to just all of my Pottergram community. I love everybody. We took over Instagram. It's Pottergram.
It really is.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And that is
Thank you, Dani. Thank you so much.
Until next time, keep creating. To get us killed or worse, expelled.